Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Let me ask you a question. What's the one little treat you give yourself almost every day? For me, for the longest time, it was coffee. Not just any coffee, but that perfect, handcrafted latte from the cozy cafe down the street. It was my morning ritual, my little pick-me-up, the perfect start to a busy day. It cost about $5. $5. It doesn't sound like much, right? I certainly didn't think so. I'd tap my card without a second thought, grab my cup, and head off to work, feeling ready to take on the world. This went on for years. It was just what I did. Then one rainy Tuesday, something shifted. I was sitting at my desk, trying to figure out my budget. You know how it is, looking at where your money goes, trying to find places to save for that vacation you've been dreaming of. Or maybe to finally build up a solid emergency fund. I was tracking my expenses, and I kept seeing this recurring charge. $5.25, Cafe Aroma. $5.25, Cafe Aroma. Over and over again. Out of sheer curiosity, I pulled out my calculator. I thought, okay, let's just see. So, $5 a day. Roughly 5 days a week. That's $25 a week. Okay, still not terrible. Times 4 weeks in a month, that's $100. $100 a month on coffee. That started to feel a little more significant. But then I took the final step. I multiplied that $100 by 12 months. The number that flashed on my screen was $1,200. I just stared at it. $1,200 a year on coffee, and that was a conservative estimate. Some days I'd grab a pastry or meet a friend and get a second one. Suddenly, that $5 habit didn't seem so small anymore. It was a plane ticket. It was a significant chunk of a new laptop. It was months of investing. It was the amount I kept telling myself I didn't have to put into my savings. That was my light bulb moment. The $5 coffee wasn't just a coffee. It was a symbol of all the small, thoughtless expenses that were quietly draining my financial potential. I want to be clear. This isn't about shaming anyone for buying coffee. Life is meant to be enjoyed. But for me, that realization was a powerful wake-up call. It made me question what that $200 a year could do for me if I was more intentional with it. So, I decided to run an experiment. For 1 month, I would brew my own coffee at home. I already had a coffee maker, but I decided to make it a little more special. I bought a bag of really nice locally roasted beans. The whole bag cost me about $15 and lasted me the entire month. I even got a nice travel mug to make the experience feel just as good as walking out of the cafe. The first few days were weird. I missed the routine, the smell of the coffee shop, the friendly chat with the barista. But I stuck with it, and a funny thing happened. I started to really enjoy my new morning ritual. The quiet moment of measuring the beans, the gurgle of the coffee maker, the amazing aroma filling my own kitchen. It became my own little mindful practice to start the day. And financially, it was a game changer. At the end of that first month, I took the $100 I would have spent on coffee and transferred it directly into a high-yield savings account. Seeing that money actually go towards a goal, instead of just disappearing, was incredibly motivating. This simple change created a ripple effect across my entire budget. I started looking for other $5 coffees in my life. The lunch I bought because I was too lazy to pack one. The subscription service I forgot I was even paying for. The impulse buys at the checkout counter. Each one, on its own, seemed insignificant, but together, they were a financial force working against me. This concept is often called the latte factor, a term popularized by the financial author David Bach. It's the idea that all of these small, seemingly trivial expenses can add up to a substantial amount of money over time. Money that could be used to build wealth, pay off debt, or achieve major financial goals. So, How can you find your own latte factor and make it work for you? The first step is awareness. You can't change what you don't track. For 1 week or even a month, track every single penny you spend. Use a notebook, a spreadsheet, or a budgeting app like Mint or YNAB. Don't judge yourself, just observe. Be a detective in your own financial life. At the end of the tracking period, sit down and categorize your spending. You'll likely be surprised by where your money is actually going. Look for those small recurring expenses. Is it a daily soda? A weekly magazine? A streaming service you never watch? That's your $5 coffee. Once you've identified it, the next step is to make a conscious choice. This isn't about deprivation, it's about alignment. Ask yourself, is this small daily expense bringing me more value than, say, being debt-free, or going on my dream vacation, or retiring a few years earlier? Sometimes the answer might be yes. If that daily coffee is truly the highlight of your day and brings you immense joy, then by all means, keep it. Maybe you can find savings elsewhere. But more often than not, you'll find that the long-term goal is far more valuable. Then, find a satisfying alternative. If you cut out your daily takeout lunch, you don't have to eat a sad, boring salad every day. Get into meal prepping. Explore new recipes. Make it fun. If you cut out a subscription, use that time to read a book from the library or listen to a free podcast. For my coffee habit, investing in good beans and a nice mug was the key. I replaced an expensive habit with an affordable, enjoyable ritual. The goal is to replace, not just remove, and here's the most important part: redirect the money. This is crucial. If you just stop buying the coffee, but don't do anything with the savings, the money will just get absorbed elsewhere. It'll vanish. You need to be intentional. The moment you decide to cut the expense, set up an automatic transfer. Every week or every month, have the amount you're saving automatically move from your checking account to a separate savings or investment account. Label that account with your goal, like Hawaii trip or emergency fund. This automates your success and gives you a powerful psychological boost as you watch that balance grow. For me, that first year of brewing my own coffee resulted in over $1,200 in my savings account. The next year, I took that money and used it to open my first investment account. It wasn't a huge amount, but it was a start. It was my start, and it all began with questioning a simple $5 habit. It taught me that financial freedom isn't about making one giant, heroic move. It's about the small, consistent, intentional choices we make every single day. It's about realizing that every dollar you spend is a vote for the kind of life you want to build. So I challenge you today, find your $5 coffee. It might be an actual coffee, or it might be something else entirely. Find it, question it, and see if you can redirect that money towards something that truly matters to you. You might be shocked at how one tiny change can completely transform your financial future. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope this story gave you some inspiration for your own financial journey. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you do not miss our next one. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What is your $5 coffee? Let's share and learn from each other. Until next time, take care and spend wisely.